some days we wake up and we just feel like $1 million, and other days we think maybe we should just go back to bed. Well, maybe if you had an energy bus, more days would be like those glorious days. Dr. Nick joins us with that and more. Good to see you.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. This is a great book called The Energy Bus.
I'd never heard of it, Nikki. Tell me about it.
Wonderful book. Well, I want to tell you a quick story that is a true story.
Okay.
The year is 1994.
Okay.
I go to Bermuda with a very good friend of mine. I had 1993, just finished my doctorate internship. I was going to give myself a trip. Good friend of mine, we go to Bermuda. We're leaving Bermuda on a very ugly, sloppy, miserable, rainy day after a week of absolute delight. We get on the bus with probably about 15 or 20 other people that are going to the airport to catch a flight, and they're also in this miserable weather and miserable mood. So there is negativity throughout the entire bus. The energy, and Einstein says the world is about energy. The energy was flat. We wouldn't smile. We wouldn't say hello. Nothing.
Ooh.
And guess what happens?
There's a flat tire.
A big black lady gets on the bus behind the wheel and starts roaring enthusiastically about what a great day it is and where we're all from and where we're going and did we have a good time and what did we do and what's your name? She created her own bus of energy. She changed the entire mood of that bus from negative to where we were laughing and cutting up and we're hugging people when we got off the bus.
No kidding.
Saying, it's great to have met you. Well, hope you have a safe trip home. Glad you had a good time. Now that's powerful. That's powerful. And that's what this is about. A lady who's driving the bus has to pick up this man whose car is in the shop and he has to take the bus to work.
Okay.
And so that's how it builds, where she's trying to teach him the rules of life.
Oh.
But Whitney, I promise that's a true story.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a true
sure.
story.
But this is a Wall Street Journal bestseller. And
It is.
It says 10 rules to
10
fuel
rules.
your life, work, team with positive energy. So some of these we want to linger on more than
Yeah,
others.
just a couple let's look at.
But the first is, of course, you're the driver of your own bus.
You're the driver of your own bus.
And it says desire, vision, and focus. Move your bus in the right direction. Just pretty much what we were talking about.
Yeah, that was one of the chapters, though, that I struggle a little bit with.
Okay.
Because, again, he has the questions. What is your vision? What is your purpose? What is your focus? And, you know, Whitney, I'll be quite honest with you. I feel like if someone were to say, what is my vision or what is my purpose or what is my mission in life, I would say I feel like I am a servant leader. That's what I want to do. Now, how that plays out is going to change. So therefore it does have focus. Right now I'm trying to raise money for American Cancer Society.
Right.
So it gives me excitement and I'm focused, and of course my job as a counselor and my gigs as a musician. But do you see where sometimes we get caught up too much with write it down? Don't you know?
Yes.
Don't you know? I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I bet you could say, Nikki, this is my vision, or this is my mission.
Yes, right, right. And well, I'd probably say I want to make a positive difference in the world. And there's
What's
so many
a greater
avenues
mission?
that you can
What's
do
a greater mission? And then you take that mission, that vision, and you start putting it and focusing it. Like right now, you're doing a lot with the show.
Right. Right, the TV show.
Okay.
Right, but then there's also
But
my
you're
children.
doing other things too, and you're volunteering, and you're emceeing,
You're right.
and you have children to raise, and a husband to care for. So but I just wanted to be clear that we don't have to go sit. This is it can change.
And
but
it
there's
should
a
change.
basic, but there's a
Probably the
basic
adaptability of
impetus.
us.
There's a basic impetus
Of what
you
we
know,
all-
of
that
what we
drives
all are.
us.
Yeah. And I think under that servant leader in me, I would hope would always be mercy and compassion. That would be almost fueling that. So you see how, but again, I'm 60. I've had time to kind of pull all this together.
Yeah.
And what I want to be. And it's not about making money. It's about being true to that light and that vision that I feel like I've been created for. And yours for you, what you've been created for, to make a positive difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so deep in there. I couldn't shake it if I wanted to. But I hope everyone can find that in themselves. What is it?
But don't you understand that you don't need to write it down?
I do.
You don't.
Live it.
Just, you know it. People know it already what they're called. And if they don't, find it.
Right, right. Oh, I think that's...
Discover it. Find it.
Because it's all going to be different. You're as much as we love each other and enjoy a lot of the same things, it's different.
Of
I mean,
course
yours is
it's
different than mine.
Of course it's different.
Yeah, yeah. So find yours. Fuel your ride with positive energy is another one.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier in another segment, you know, there's a lot of negativity, particularly in the workplace. This is really a workplace book. And he, you know, the suggestion is that, you know, we lose a lot of money each year on just the lack of productivity because of negativity. Negativity takes over. But I found the book, one of the things that was so interesting about it was, you know, he was talking about, again, the law of attraction. When I got my new car, okay, I started noticing that car on the road.
Other cars? Oh, you mean
My
like
car.
your... Oh.
Because it's a law of attraction. So when you think about it in that way, it's like, well, wow, if I'm thinking positive thoughts about people, I'm probably going to attract people that think positive thoughts.
Okay. Now, this is interesting because you say that this book is also, the Energy Bus, about workplace, targeted toward workplace. And one of their rules is don't waste your energy on people who don't get it.
or don't want to get on your bus.
Don't want to get on your bus.
Or who get on your bus but are really trying to do you in.
Yes.
And he talks about energy vampires. You know, he says stay away from energy vampires.
Yeah.
It's...
But so how do we avoid letting those vampire energy suckers from ruining our day, ruining the workplace, or ruining your new assignment?
Well, this is where it becomes, again, a struggle. We cannot avoid, we can't move to another planet.
But what is it about human nature that sometimes somebody won't like us, or they don't want to get on our bus, we'll say it, or is the energy vampire, and we spend an incredible amount of time and effort and energy trying to woo them? Why is it? Instead of focusing on all the people who have that, maybe let's say a workforce team of 8 people, and you've got 7 great workers, but you will spend 40% of your time trying to get this person on board. It seems so counterintuitive, and yet is it part of us that just wants to say we can win them over, or we can do it, or I don't know.
Let's go back to the number 1 rule.
Okay.
What's the number 1 rule?
You are driving your own bus.
And what are you doing when you let those other 7 people invade you?
You are sharing the energy, and you're on their bus.
Either on their bus or you're giving them the wheel. Whitney, when I think about some of the, and I don't mean it as a judgment, when I think about some of the people that I have to deal with, I call it principalities and powers. You know, it's draining. It's either actively vampiring or passively. And by the way, I think there are times when we can all become that way.
Sure.
So, I mean, we have to be honest and vulnerable with that. I mean, I can get very insecure and all that. But when I get to where I'm feeling like I'm around vampires, that's when I have to again focus on the people that give me life. I know who I can depend on to ride my bus with me.
May we all have a great energy bus going into
10 rules.
This week ahead. Thanks, Dr. Nick.
Good to see you.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks so much. Much more Weekends with Whitney right after this.